in this class. I want to explain and solve all the questions in this particular reading test. Cambridge IELTS 16 general test 4. I'll solve questions 1 to 40. Okay, questions 1 to 40. So I want you to follow closely. Follow closely as I explain. Before I go into the details of the question, let me lay this foundation. I always like to lay this foundation so that as I apply those techniques, you're going to understand better. Okay? So what are the steps to follow? Or let me put it this way. What are the techniques? What are the techniques and strategies that we use to solve questions in IELTS reading? Number one technique. What are the techniques? Number one technique is called keyword identification. Okay, in other words, read the questions and identify keywords. That's number one. Read the questions and do what? Identify keywords. Always start by reading the questions. Don't start by reading the passage. To me, that is time wasting, especially if you are doing IELTS academic and you are solving question passage 2 and passage 3. You are going to be wasting time unnecessarily. That's what I've noticed. So technique one is what? Keyword identification. You must learn to identify keywords. And what are keywords? Verbs, adverbs, adjectives, proper nouns, dates, figures, amounts of money. Those are keywords. Anytime you see these keywords in the questions, they should jump at you. They should register in your mind. You understand? Now, what is technique number 2? Scanning and skimming. What does that mean? That means that you quickly read through the passage in search of the keywords. Okay? Quickly read through the passage in search of the keywords or the paraphrases of the keywords. That's technique number 2. Okay? Number 3 is what? Focused reading and analysis. In other words, focus on the part of the passage containing the keyword. Okay? Analyze and pick the most appropriate answer. That's technique number 3. And then number 4 is what I call self-correction. In other words, after marking your work, go through the questions that you got wrong and do thorough self-correction. That's technique number 4. Take time to what? What is self-correction? You are looking at the questions you got wrong and you want to know why the answer in that textbook, why is that answer in the textbook? Why is it correct? And why is your own answer wrong? What was the mistake that you made that resulted in you picking the wrong answer? Okay? That's what I call self-correction. This particular exercise will help you to what? To learn from your mistakes and to become better prepared for subsequent exercises. So these 4 techniques are the techniques you are going to see me apply. Okay? I'm going to apply keyword identification technique, scanning and skimming, focus reading and analysis. You're going to see me apply these techniques. And then after solving everything, I'm going to mark my work. And if there's anyone that is wrong, you are going to see the way I will do self-correction. I hope you are following me. If you are following me, let me see your message. Drop a message in the chat box. Let me see who is following me. If you are following me, drop a message. Let me see who is following me. Let me see who is following me. If you are following me, please drop a message. Let me see who is with me. Let me know whether you guys are following me. All right. Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very good. Okay. So let's move to The full reading test I want to treat today, okay, we are going to be looking at Cambridge IELTS 16 General. Okay, maybe somebody is thinking, I'm doing IELTS academic. Why are you teaching general? Well, general, whether you are doing academic or general, this lesson I want to take is going to benefit you because the question types are the same. You are going to see gap filling questions in this IELTS general that I want to treat now. You are going to see gap filling questions in IELTS academic. So the question types are the same. You will benefit. The vocabulary of English is the same, whether you are doing academic or general. So you benefit. So don't say that because you're doing IELTS academic, you will not concentrate on what I'm teaching. No, don't do that. You are going to benefit from this. So follow closely, okay, as I explained. So this is our first passage. This passage is titled The Best Hiking Boots, okay? And then the question connected to it, this is what we call matching statement questions. This is what we call what? Matching statement questions in IELTS reading. Look at it. It says that what? Look at the 7 reviews of hiking boots. For which hiking boots are the following statements true? Can you see? Matching statements. Okay? But I usually don't like solving matching statement first. I prefer to solve gap filling questions first because it helps me to, maximize my time. So I'll just jump to question 15 and solve all the gap filling questions first. So I start with the question. Some job seekers have difficulty with their CV because they have not learned which qualities they should dash. Job seekers is a noun. That's a keyword for me. Difficulty, that's another noun. Very important keyword. CV, this CV that is in capital, very, very important. Length, this is a verb. This is a keyword. Then qualities. So I've identified my keywords. I'll go to the passage. I can see CV here. Okay. Believe that the best person to write CV. Okay. Although many people can write their own CV and do it well. Others struggle. Okay. Struggle. Look at it. Have difficulty. Can you see paraphrasing here? Remember what I said earlier on? That you want to identify keywords in the question. You are not just looking for that exact word. You also look for the paraphrase. So they did not use difficulty in the passage. What did they use in the passage? Struggle. Others struggle with a variety of problems initially. Can you see that? Paraphrasing. Have difficulty, struggle. So what is the struggle? Such as not knowing how to structure a CV or how to highlight their most relevant strengths. That's our answer. They have not learned which qualities they should highlight. I think that should be the word. How to highlight their most relevant strengths. Which qualities they should highlight. How to highlight. So my answer to number 15 is going to be what? Highlight. Highlight. So I'm going to write that out in my computer here. Number 15 is going to be what? Highlight. Okay. Number 16. Professional CV writers know which dash are best left out of the CV. Okay. Professional CV writers know which dash are best left out of the CV. So I'll go back to the passage again. But before I go there, my key word here is what? Professional CV writers. Then left out. What is another word for left out? Excluded. Excluded. Okay? But then let's go to the passage and see how they will do paraphrasing here. I can see professional CV writer here. Professional CV writers can help identify exactly what is necessary for a particular role. Cut out. Can you see paraphrasing? Cut out is a paraphrase for what? Left out. Can you see? They know which dash are best left out. So they can identify exactly what is necessary for a particular role and to cut out unnecessary or irrelevant detail. Okay? And pinpoint what makes the individual stand out. Okay, so what is my word here? Professional CV writers know which detail are best left out. Detail, let me see. Is there anything like detail here? Through in-depth consultation, a professional CV writer can help identify exactly what is necessary for a particular role and cut out unnecessary or irrelevant detail. That's the word, details. Notice there's S there, details. So my number 16 is going to be what? Details, details. Details, details, number 16. Number 17, CV writers with knowledge of a particular field of work often provide useful dash about the skills firms expect from job applicants. Okay, CV writers with knowledge of a particular field is a keyword here, provide useful dash, that's another keyword, skills that firm expects, skills, that's another keyword here. So let's go back to the passage. The level of objectivity of one particular, this level of objectivity is one of the major benefits of working with a professional CV writer. It is often difficult to stand back. Okay, let me move on. If you do choose, I'm looking for this thing about knowledge of a particular field. That's what I'm looking for. I have not seen it here. Knowledge of a particular field is not in this. I've not seen it in this paragraph too. I've not seen it. Let me check the next one. If you choose to work with a professional CV writer, there are some, okay? Ask for a CV writer who has experience in your sector. Can you see? In your sector. That's it. Knowledge of a particular field. That's the paraphrase. That's the paraphrase. Now look at the next sentence. HR professionals and recruiters with relevant experience can also have valuable insight into what companies are looking for. Okay, let's go back to the question. CV writers with knowledge of a particular field often provide useful dash about the skills that firm expect. Useful dash. Useful dash. They provide useful dash. They provide useful dash. Look for someone who is prepared. Okay. No, that stuff is not here. If you choose to ask for a CV writer who has experience in your sector, valuable insights. I think that's the word. They can also have valuable insights. Valuable is a paraphrase for useful. So my word is going to be insights. CV writers with knowledge of a particular field of work often provide useful insights. Useful insights. Number 17, insights. Number 17 is going to be what? Insights. Insights. Okay? Number 18, it is advisable to request dash of what a professional CV writer has previously produced. Okay? Previously produced is a keyword for me here. Let's go back to the passage. Look for someone. Ask to see samples of their work. Okay? Samples. That's the word. Request samples of what the professional CV writer has previously produced. Samples. Number 18. Samples. Notice it's plural. Samples. Number 19. Professional CV writers often ask job seekers to walk through a dash as a first step. Walk through a dash. Okay, let's go back to the passage. Walk through a dash as the first step. You'll probably need to answer an in-depth email questionnaire. That's it. That's it. Or be interviewed before any writing actually starts. You'll probably need to answer an in-depth email questionnaire or be interviewed before any writing actually starts. So before any writing actually starts, that sounds like as a first step. Can you see that? Paraphrasing. Can you see what they are doing paraphrasing for us? Our keywords in the questions are not the exact words we are seeing in the passage. They are paraphrasing for us. That's IELTS for you. So what am I going to pick here? My word is going to be what? Questionnaire. You need to answer an in-depth email questionnaire. Okay? That's the word. It's a noun. It can't be interviewed because here they said interviewed. This is a verb. Interviewed. This thing here, professional CV writers often ask job seekers to walk through an interviewed. No, that's wrong. That's bad grammar. You cannot write interviewed here. You can write interview, but what we have in the passage is not interview. What we have is what? Interviewed, a verb. That's a verb. The word for this gap should be a noun. That's going to be what? Questionnaire. And that's what we are going to write. Questionnaire. You must spell it correctly. So my questionnaire is what? Questionnaire. Questionnaire. Okay? That's going to be my word. Questionnaire. All right? Then let's move on to the next question. Question 20. If the job seeker assists the professional writer, the tone of the CV will be dash. If the job seeker assists the professional writer, the tone of the CV will be dash. So let's go back to the passage. The more you can give your CV writer to work with, the better. Okay? Take the time to think about and jot down your career aims. Your CV will probably be used as a springboard for, okay? So you need to make sure you feel happy. Be involved in the writing process. So that being involved in the writing process means that your CV sounds authentic. This is our word, authentic. Let me see. Sounds, tone. Can you see? The tone of the CV. That's a paraphrase for sounds. Okay? Being involved. If the job seeker assists, so if you are involved, we are assisting. So the tone of the CV will be authentic. Number 20 is going to be what? Authentic. Authentic. Ladies and gentlemen, I've solved question 18 to 20. I've solved questions, I've solved questions 15 to 20. Okay? Let's move on. Let's move on to, let me look at passage section. Okay, yeah, this is another set of gap filling questions. Let me solve this set of, so I like solving gap filling questions first. Okay? Especially in passages 1 and passage 2. Let me solve everything first, and then I move to other question types. One of the strategies for saving time. Now, look at this. How best to tackle a new job. The first day. Before arriving at work, try out a different morning dash that will create a sense of well-being. Okay? Before arriving at work, a different morning. These are keywords also. Create. So let me go to the passage. Look at this. I can see first day here. First day. First day. Here are our top tips. A new job is a great opportunity to hit the reset button. If you got into the habit of skipping breakfast for your last job, fit it in now, or experiment with getting a workout in before going to the office. Breakfast. Is it breakfast or workout? One of the two. Let me see. Before arriving at work, try out a different morning breakfast. No. Morning routine. Is there anything like routine here? Or morning habits. Get into the habit of skipping breakfast. Experiment with workouts. Having a routine you like. The word is going to be routine. Morning routine. Routine. Number 21 is going to be routine. Try out a different morning routine that will create a sense of well-being. Look at this part again. It says that word. Sticking to it definitely impacts on your overall happiness. So, sense of well-being. This one I'm going to pick number 21. I'm going to write routine for number 21. Routine. Routine, number 21. Okay? Number 21 is going to be routine. Hope you are following me. Let me see who is following me. If you are following me, let me see your message. Drop a message in the chat box. Let me see who is following me. Let me see who is following me. Let me see who is following me. You are following me. Let me see your message. Let me see who is following me so far. All right. Thank you very much. Very good. I can see your message. Okay. Okay, IJ. Confidence. And your layer. Okay, iPhone. Neros. Very good. Okay, let's move on. Number 22 now. Make sure your chosen outfit conforms to the company's dash. Chosen outfits. companies dash. Those are my keywords. So back to the passage. You have probably been to the office for an interview, so you have some idea of what the dress code. Can you see? They are talking about our outfit here. Why you definitely want to feel comfortable, it is best to play it safe by leaning towards a smarter and more polished look. Okay, back to the question. The company's dress code, that's going to be the word, dress code. That's from this part of the passage. The best word that fits in is going to be dress code. The company's dress code. Can you see? They said no more than 2 words. So dress code is perfect. Dress code is perfect. So number 22 is going to be what? Dress code. Dress code. Okay? Dress code. Number 23 now. If you eat with colleagues at midday, it will provide information on their dash and the way they operate. So eat with colleagues, that's a keyword. Provide information is another keyword here. Operate is another keyword here. So let's go back to the passage. So this is lunch. I can see lunch here. Lunch is what you eat in the afternoon. In that passage, they wrote midday. So this sounds like a good paraphrase here. So it says, accepting an invite to lunch with your boss and co-workers will allow you to get to know the people you'll be working with on a more personal level. Okay, back to the question. It will provide information on their dash and the way they operate. Back to the passage. On their dash. To know about the people you'll be working with. On their personalities. And work styles. Work styles means the way they work. Can you see? Work styles, the way they operate, that's work styles. So what should be in this gap is going to be what? Personalities. Number 23 is going to be what? Personalities. Personalities. That's it. Then, number 24. It may be wise to prepare some dash to help the interaction flow. It may be wise to prepare some dash. Prepare some dash. Okay, so prepare is a keyword here. Interaction is also a keyword here. So what are we preparing? So to ensure the lunch goes well, have a few conversation starters in mind. That's our word. Conversation starters. Conversation starters. That's it. It may be wise to prepare some conversation starters. Can you see? Number 24. Conversation starters. That's it. Conversation starters. And then number 25. Work out some dash and how to go about fulfilling them. Work out some dash. So during the first few weeks, work out some dash. Work out, that's a keyword here. Fulfilling them is also a keyword. So back to the passage. It is important to approach your new job with an open mind. Hold on, no, this paragraph. One of the big outcomes of going through a job search is you learn loads about yourself. In particular, you learn what you want and what you don't want. With this newfound understanding, take the time over the initial period, okay? You'll be one step closer. I can't say anything about first week here. It is important to approach your new job with an open mind. Hold on. Let me go back to the question. Let me go back to the question. During the first few weeks, work out some dash and how to go about fulfilling them. During the first few weeks. There's nothing like weeks here. This paragraph 4. Accepting invites to lunch. There's nothing like weeks here. Okay? What of this? One of the big outcomes of going through a job search is you learn loads about yourself. In particular, you learn what you want and what you don't want, and what skills you bring to the table. Hold on. They didn't use the word weeks. Work out some dash and how to go about fulfilling them. Work out some dash and how to go about fulfilling them. Learn about yourself, okay? Learn what you want. With this newfound understanding, take some time over the initial period. Oh, this thing sounds like first few weeks. first few weeks, initial, can you see the way they've paraphrased for us? To think about what goals you have for your new role. Okay, goals. That should be our word. Try work out some goals and not to go about fulfilling them. Goals. Think about what goals you have for your new role. Goals. I think I'm going to write goals. Goals. This thing is taking so much time. Goals. Goals. Then try to keep a completely dash as you settle into the post. Completely dash. Settle into. Okay? Those are my keywords. Completely. So back to the passage now. Identifying this early on, you'll be one step closer to positioning yourself for success. It is important that you approach your new job with an open mind and that you are ready to soak it all in. Be patient with yourself. Hold on, let's go back to the question. Try to keep a completely dash. Okay, a completely dash. So it says, be patient with yourself as you figure out how you fit in and make sure you understand the way things are done before rushing into giving suggestions on improvements. Our word should be in this gap. It is important that you approach your new job with an open mind. Oh, a completely open mind. Try to keep a completely open mind. A completely open mind. And that you are ready to soak it all in. You are ready to soak it all in. I think the word is going to be open mind. That's going to be the word here. Open mind. Open mind. Open mind seems to be the best answer for me here. Try to keep a completely open mind. 26. Open mind. Open mind. 27. Avoid making proposals for dash too soon. Avoid making proposals for dash too soon. I saw too soon somewhere. Be patient. Rushing into giving suggestions on improvement. That's it. Proposals for improvements. Yes, that's going to be the word. Improvement is going to be the word for number 27. Improvements. Improvements. Okay? So I've solved questions 15 to 27. That's about 13 questions there. All gap filling. Now, let me go back to question 1. Let me go back to question 1 now and solve the matching statement questions. Okay? I follow the strategy. What is the strategy? I read the questions. I start with the questions. I identify keywords. Okay? I identify keywords and then I go to the passage and then I solve them one after the other. Okay? Now look at it. For which hiking boot are the following statements true? Number 1, these boots are a good choice for people who want to look smart when they are walking. Good choice for people who want to look smart. Look smart is a keyword here. Look smart. Okay? Then walking. Number 2, people do not need to spend time getting their feet accustomed to these boots. People do not need to spend time. Look at this thing here. Do not need to spend time. All those things I just said now, treat them as one keyword. Do not need to spend time. Okay? Then getting their feet accustomed. Number 3, these boots should last many years. In other words, it will last for a long time. Many years is a keyword here. People find these boots useful when traveling as they are not heavy. Not heavy. Not heavy is a keyword here. Traveling is also a keyword here. Number 5, one feature of these boots does not continue to be effective for a very long. One feature does not continue to be effective for very long. That's another keyword. These boots do not keep rain out. Keep rain out. The other was water can enter. Water can enter. That's the meaning. So keep rain out is a keyword here. It is important to make sure these boots are done up tightly before starting a walk. Done up tightly. Ensure, make sure, done up tightly before starting a walk. Those are my keywords. Then these boots should suit people who... All right. So we are taking the keywords, okay? We are taking the keywords. Look at this last, what's it called, sentence. These boots should suit people who don't want to spend a lot. So spend a lot is a keyword here. Not like they want to spend, but okay, let's even take everything. Don't want to spend a lot. In other words, it's affordable. It's not expensive. That's it. Okay? Now, I've identified my keywords. I've read through the statement. I've identified my keywords. They've registered in my mind. The next thing to do now is to go to the passage and take it paragraph by paragraph. So let's go to the passage. Paragraph A. Anwag Tatra boots. Anwag Tatra boots. These boots are expensive, but will give you a lifetime of wear. Can you see this? A lifetime of wear. A lifetime. That means it's going to last for a very long time, probably for all your life. That's sounding like what? That one that says it will last for many years. Number 3, these boots should last for many years. That's it. Lifetime of wear. Can you see paraphrasing? This is IELTS for you. Expect a lot of what? Paraphrasing. Okay? So what am I going to match to paragraph A? Paragraph A is matched to statement 3. These boots should last for many years. So the answer to number 3 is going to be what? The answer to number 3 is going to be A. Okay? Number 3 is going to be A. So let me go back to that paragraph and continue. It says, they are a wide fit and offer excellent ankle support. They passed our waterproof test when worn on long rainy walks, although they are a bit heavy. Okay, is there anyone that says that any boot is heavy? Heavy. Okay, not heavy. Oh, okay. So I think that's all for paragraph A. There's nothing else to match to paragraph A. Paragraph B now. These are good all-round boots that have kept our feet dry in heavy rain. Kept our feet dry in heavy rain. What does that mean? That means rain, water will not enter. Number 6 says these boots do not keep the rain out. No. Okay, hold on. I want to check something. Okay, so that doesn't fit in. They kept our feet dry in heavy rain, snow, and mud. They are warm and comfortable to wear straight out of the box. Straight out of the box. Where is it? People do not need to spend time getting their feet accustomed to these boots. In other words, you can pick them from the boots, pick them from the box and wear them. That's number 2. That's statement number 2. Statement number 2, straight out of the box. You can wear them straight out of the box. You don't need to, spend some time and get your feet used to them. No, that's it. That's the meaning of wear straight out of the box. So paragraph B can be matched to statement number 2. So number 2 is going to be what? Number 2 is going to be B. Okay, let me finish up that paragraph B. It says, and continue to be so even after many kilometers. A great choice for all seasons. There is nothing about great choice for all seasons. Paragraph C now. King Tedradora ethos. These are meant for spring and summer walks and for putting in your backpack for treks in hot climates. They will never weigh you down. What does that mean? It means that they are not heavy. They will never weigh you down. It means that they are not heavy. They are not heavy. Look at it. There's one about a boot that is not heavy. Okay, yeah, this one. People find these boots useful when traveling as they are not heavy. Yes, that's it. They are not heavy. Can you see? It says that word. You can put it in your backpacks for treks. And then it says they will never weigh you down. So they will never weigh you down. They are not heavy. And then you can put them in your backpacks. What do you use backpack for? Use it when you are traveling. So C can be matched to statement number 4. Number 4 is going to be C. Number 4 is going to be C. Okay? Number 4 is going to be C. Let's move on. Next paragraph. Let's move on. Hold on. Let me see. It says, their soles grip well and despite not being waterproof. Not being waterproof. In other words, water can enter. These books do not keep the rain out. These boots do not keep the rain out. Number 6. Number 6 can be matched to C. Number 6 is also C. So you see, I've picked C twice. I've picked C twice. The instruction here says you may use any letter more than one, so it's allowed. You can use C twice. They already gave us the hint. Okay, let's move on. Paragraph D now. Dana's retro boots are one of the heavier ones we reviewed. They take a week or 2 for your feet to get used to them, but we find them waterproof even in heavy rain. These are boots for the style conscious. Style conscious. What's style conscious? People who want to look smart. That's the meaning of style conscious. Style conscious. People who want to look smart. Number 1 is going to be D. Number 1 is going to be D. Style conscious. People who want to look smart. Okay? Then let's move on. Style conscious. Let me finish up that. But suitable for demanding works. Okay? Paragraph E now. We've worn these boots in freezing cold conditions and our feet felt comfortable. Remember to pull the laces firmly. This is that one that says you do it very well. It is important to make sure these boots are done up tightly before starting a walk. Done up tightly. That's it. It says, remember to, where is it? Remember to pull the laces firmly. That's it. Paraphrase for done up tightly. So, paragraph E can be matched to statement number 7. Paragraph E can be matched to statement number 7. Number 7 is going to be what? E. Okay? Number 7 is going to be E. Let me finish up that paragraph E. Okay? As they are rather wide around the ankles. Okay, paragraph F now. The soft leather might not be tough enough for extreme environment, but these boots get top marks for comfort. They are waterproof, but we found this wore off after about 20 wet walks. This waterproof feature does not last. This is a feature that does not last. A feature that does not last, that's statement number 5. One feature of these boots does not continue to be effective. That's F. Statement 5 can be matched to paragraph F. They are waterproof, but we found that this wore off. In other words, the waterproof feature wears off after 20 wet walks. Okay? Paragraph G now. These boots are reasonably priced. Reasonably priced means what? They are affordable. Number 8, these boots should suit people who don't want to spend a lot. So number 8 is going to be matched to what? Paragraph G. Paragraph G. Ladies and gentlemen, I've solved questions 1 to 8. Now let's move to question 9. Question 9 is true, false, not given. True, false, not given. True, false, not given. How do we deal with true, false, not given? The same strategy. Same strategy. Read through the statement and identify keywords. And then go to the passage and then begin to focus and analyze and take it one at a time. Paying attention, and as you do that, pay attention to paraphrases. Okay? What did I say? Pay attention to what? Pay attention to paraphrases. That's extremely important. Now, statement number 8, number 9. The workshop is only suitable for people who already keep their own bees. The workshop, suitable. Take note of this word only. Only suitable. Only suitable. For who? People who already keep their own bees. So let's go to the passage and see. what the passage has to say. If you have ever wanted to keep bees and have your own delicious honey, there is no better time to begin. Whether you are keen to learn everything you need to know to get started, or simply extremely interested in the idea of keeping bees, this one-day interactive workshop will teach you the fascinating secrets of the honey bee and how to care for and keep bees. Look at this first part. Whether you are keen to learn everything you need to know to get, so this is for somebody who has not yet started, to get started. So they are telling us that this workshop is for somebody that wants to, that is about to start. The person has not started, is keen to learn and is about to get started. Then, or simply extremely interested. If I'm extremely interested, that means I'm already into it. I'm already into it. So that number 9 is not true. It's false. The workshop is only for people who already keep. No. It's also for people who don't keep bees yet. The passage tells us clearly that what is for people who are about to get started. Everything you need to know to get started. That means you are not yet into it. You are not yet keeping your own bees. So number 9 is going to what? Number 9 is going to be false. Number 9 contradicts the passage. Number 9 contradicts the information in the passage. Okay? Number 10, participants will meet people who are involved in selling honey to the public. Participants meet people involved selling honey. Selling honey. Okay? So let's look at the passage. Selling honey. Our day begins here on the farm, getting to know about the honeybee, specifically the kind we keep here. Okay, you'll find out about and try for yourself the equipment beekeepers use. You'll learn about this life cycle of a colony. They didn't talk about meeting people though. People selling honey to the public. I can't say anything about people selling honey to the public. Life cycle of a colony, disease prevention, how to harvest honey for personal use and for sale. That's all about sale. The thing does not tell us that you meet people who are involved in selling honey to the public. No, they didn't tell us. So number 10 is not giving. We don't know whether they will meet people. Not giving. Okay? Not giving. Remember what I used to say about not giving. If the statement mentions something that is not in the passage, that thing is not supported by the passage, that is not contradicted by the passage, then our answer is going to be what? Not giving. Look at it here. Participants, we saw participants in the passage. People that want to come for the workshop, they are called participants. Okay? They are participants. Then we'll meet people who are involved in selling honey to the public. Did they tell us that they will meet people? They didn't tell us that they will meet people. We don't know whether they will meet people who are selling honey to the public. They didn't tell us whether they will not meet people who are selling honey to the public. We don't know. So that part is, this third paragraph in the passage does not mention it. It doesn't mention it. Hope you get the point now. So for me, number 10 is going to be not given. Somebody says, why is it not false? If you pick false for this question number 10, what it means is that the passage must tell us clearly that what? Participant will not meet people who are selling honey to the public. There's nothing in the passage that says they will not meet people who are selling honey to the public. The passage does not say it. You understand? So there's nothing in the passage to say that we should pick false. There's nothing in the passage to say that we should pick true. So we are going to pick what? Not given. Not given. Number 11, vegetarian refreshments are available if requested in advance. Vegetarian is a keyword here. Available, requested in advance. That's another keyword. So let's go back to the passage. Vegetarian. Is there anything like vegetarian here? Then it is time to try on the bee suits and meet our bees. Oh, can you see meet? Meet our bees. Can you see who they will meet here? Meet our bees. We'll teach you how to open a hive and recognize different bees and explain, okay? What is included in the price? I'm looking for that vegetarian something. We provide everything you need. Okay, lunch cooked in our outdoor. Okay, just bring a pair of thick boots. There's nothing about vegetarian here. There's nothing about vegetarian here. Number 11 is not given. Not given. We don't know whether they will provide vegetarian refreshments. Hold on. Vegetarian refreshments, including unlimited organic tea or coffee, lunch cooked in our outdoor wood-fired oven. There's nothing like vegetarian. Vegetarian means it's just plants they are eating. So they didn't specify that. Number 12, participants will need to pay extra to hire appropriate clothes for the workshop. Clothes. I saw clothes. Beekeeping suits. So they are not, it is included in the price. It's included in the price. Beekeeping suits is included in the price. So they are not talking about paying anything extra for the clothes. Okay? I'm seeing beekeeping clothing here. Let me check. You live with plenty of notes and resources, including a packet of bee-friendly white flower seeds, courtesy of BJ Sherry, the leading supplier of beekeeping clothing. They didn't say that you will pay extra for appropriate clothes. Number 12 is false. Number 12 is false. That beekeeping clothing is already included. It's already included in the price. It's already included in the price. Number 13, protective footwear will be required during the workshop. Yes, I saw footwear, boots. Just bring a pair of thick boots with you. Bring a pair of thick boots. Yes, protective footwear will be required. Number 13 is true. Number 14, if someone has to cancel before the workshop, the fee will be repaid. Repaid. Cancel and repaid are my keywords here. So I'll go back to the passage. Let me see. We like to run our workshop fairly and honestly. Your booking secures a very limited place. So is non-refundable. Non-refundable. It is non-refundable. Can you see that? Non-refundable. Look at it. If someone has to cancel before the workshop, the fee will be repaid. No, the fee will not be repaid. They said it is non-refundable. So if you cancel, look at it. So it's non-refundable. If you cannot make it, send a friend or a colleague instead. They will not refund your money. You cannot cancel and they will refund your money. If you want to cancel, ask a friend to come. So they will not pay you back. If someone has to cancel, the fee will be repaid. No, it will not be repaid. Number 14 is false. Number 14 is false. Ladies and gentlemen, I have solved questions 1 to 27. I've solved questions 1 to 27. I hope you are following me. Let me see who is following me. If you are still with me, let me see your message. Drop a message in the WhatsApp chat. Let me see who is still following me. Let me see who is still following me. If you are still with me, let me see your message. Anybody who is with me, who is following me closely? All right. Thank you very much. IJ, Tomiwa, very good, very good, very good. So let's move to section 3 now. Section 3. Let's move to section 3. The title is History of Women's Football in Britain. History of Women's Football in Britain. Again, I start with the question. Question 28, 30, 29, 30, 31. These are multiple choice questions. I usually solve multiple choice questions last. Why? Because they are time consuming. I solve them last. This is what we call matching sentence endings. No. This is what we call matching features. Matching features. These are names of organizations. So we are matching organization with these statements. This is matching features. Then we have gap filling. Let me solve these gap filling questions first. A catastrophic year for women's football. At the end of 1921, women's football teams were forbidden to use the dash of the Football Association. So 1921 is a keyword here. Remember what I said earlier on, that dates are keywords. So 1921 is a keyword for me here. Okay? 1921 is a word, is a very important keyword for me here. So I'll go to the passage and look for at the end of 1921. So I'll go to the passage. I saw 1921 here. By 1921. Now let's go to the bottom. Can you see end of 1921 here? This is December 1920. That's the end of 1921. So can you see paraphrasing here? They did not say at the end of 1921. They wrote the specific date. So your understanding of paraphrasing knows that it lets you know that what this is the end of 1921. That's paraphrasing. On 5 December 1921, the FA banned its members from allowing women's football to be played at its ground. That's it. At the end of 1921, women's football teams were forbidden to use the grounds of the Football Association. Grounds. That's it. The FA, Football Association, that's the full meaning of FA. Somebody says, where did I see Football Association is the full meaning of FA? Anybody that knows football knows that's the meaning. But let me not assume. Just go back to the beginning of the passage. You're going to see FA. You see the meaning of FA somewhere at the beginning. Somewhere towards, look at it here. The Football Association FA. Can you see? FA. Okay? So, FA banned its members from allowing women's football to be played at its grounds. That's it. That's the word. Number 38 is going to be what? Grounds. Grounds. And we're not allowed to have Football Association members as dash. Okay? We're not allowed to have Football Association members as dash. Let me go back to the passage. So it says that word. The FA also forbade its members from acting as referees. Referees. That's referees. That's the word. Referees. We're not allowed to have Football Association members as referees. 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 What's the spelling of referees? What's the spelling of referees? R-E-F-E-R-E-E-S. Referees. Okay? That's number 39. Then number 40. Number 40. The FA said that women's clubs did not give enough to charity and that there had been mismanagement of funds. Female workers accused the FA of dash against women, but the ban continued until 1971. Okay, so female workers accused the FA of dash, but the ban continued until, let me look for 1971, and then I'll just go backwards. See 1971 here. Okay, is there anything like accused here? They didn't talk about accused. Okay, let's go back. There was outrage from players, with the captain of Plymouth Ladies remarking that the FA was 100 years behind the times and calling its decision purely sex prejudice. Sex prejudice. How many words? One word only. One word only. So what word are we going to use, everybody? Who is following me? Let me see. Type the answer. Let me see who is following me. From this place here, this is our answer. Our answer is in this place. Our answer is, let me highlight it. Our answer is here. Our answer to that gap is going to be here. The female footballers, look at it. The female workers accused FA of dash against women. They accused FA of dash against women. So what is going to be the word from this player, from this place that I highlighted? What is going to be the word? What is going to be the word? Anybody who wants to type out the answer before I say what I think the answer should be? What do you think the answer should be? Anybody? Who wants to give me the answer? Who wants to give me the answer? Anybody? Anybody? The answer is in this box. There was outrage from players, with the captain of Plymouth remarking that the FA was 100 years behind the times and calling its decision purely sex prejudice. Thank you. The word is prejudice. 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 That's the word. That's the word for that gap. Female workers accused the FA of prejudice against women. Prejudice. Prejudice. That's going to be the word. So I've solved 39 to 40 gap filling. Now, let me come to this matching feature. So, the British Ladies Football Club, this is the keyword I'm going to start with. British Ladies Football Club, BLFC. So I'll go to the passage and look for what the passage says about this particular club. So let's go to the passage now. I can see BLFC in paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, I can see BLFC here. So let's read it. By the late 19th century, with the men's game spreading across Britain like wildfire, women's also began to take up association football. Early pioneers included Nettie J. Honeyball, who founded the British Ladies Football Club in 1895. Okay, so this club was founded by Honeyball. Honeyball was an alias like many of the middle and upper class women who played in the 19th century. She was not keen to publicize her involvement with the contact sports played on muddy fields. We know more about Lady Florence Dixie, who was appointed president of the PLFC in 1895 and who was an ardent believer in equality between the sexes. So you see, they mentioned BLFC again here, and they connected to Lady Florence Dixie. Then look at the next paragraph. I'm seeing BLFC again. The BLFC arranged games between teams representing the north and south of England, where money will be raised for those in need. Okay, that's what BLFC did. Is there any other BLFC again? There's no other BLFC again on this page. Let me go to the question. So, BLFC, it felt threatened by the rise of women football. No, it was established by a male office worker. Who established BLFC? Early pioneers. Nettie J. Honeyball, who founded BLFC. We don't know whether this BLFC was. We don't know whether this Nettie J. Honeyball, we don't know whether it's a guy. We don't know. We don't know whether it's a guy. It was established by a male office worker. It donated money from football matches to good causes. Yes, that's BLFC. I saw that. BLFC donated money. Where is it? BLFC arranged games between teams representing North and South of England, where money was raised, where money will be raised for those in need. Can you see? They raised money for those in need. So that's it. That's BLFC. They donated money for good causes, to good causes. Money from football match. So number 34 can be matched to A. Number 34 is A. 34 is going to be A, option A. Okay? Then let me see 35. He called for ending the ban on women football in Britain. No, they didn't talk about ban in that BLFC. It was accused of being old-fashioned. No. It was led by a believer in women's rights. Yes, number 37, believer in women's rights. That's Lady J. Honeyball. Where is it? Early pioneers included Nettie J. Honeyball, who founded the British Ladies Football Club. Honeyball was an alias, like many of the middle and upper class women who played football. She was not keen to publicize her involvement. Can you see? She's even a female. We know more about Lady Florence Dixie, who was appointed president of BLFC. So it was led by a believer in women's rights. Yes. Number 37 is matched to BLFC. BLFC was led by Lady Florence Dixie, who was appointed president of BLFC in 1895, who was an ardent believer in equality between the sexes. That's equality. That's rights. That's what they are calling women's rights. That's number 37. Number 37 is also A. Number 37 is going to be what? Option A. Number 37 is matched to option A. Okay? Now, let's move on. The other name here is what? The Dick Care Ladies Team. The Dick Care Ladies Team. That's another keyword here. So, I can see Dick Care here. Dick Care and Co. Known as Dick Care Ladies. Dick Care Ladies. They beat rival factory Arundel Coulthard. Okay? Dick Kerr ladies team. I can see Dick Kerr again. After the war ended in 1918, the Dick Kerr side and other women's team continued to draw large crowds. In 1920, there were around 150 women's sides in England, and Dick Kerr ladies packed 53,000 into Everton Goodison Park Stadium. The same year, the team found one true genius, Lily Parr. Which team? The Dick Kerr team. That's what they are calling the team. Who grew up playing football with her brothers and began her career with her town's ladies team at age 14. When they played against Dick Kerr's side, she caught Frankland's eye and was offered a job at the factory, as well as a spot on the team. Close to 6 feet tall. Hold on. Frankland. Hold on. Frankland. Under Frankland's management. Hold on. In the town of Preston, north of England, the female workers at the manufacturing company showed a particular aptitude for the game. Watching from a window above the yard where they played, office worker Alan Frankland spotted their talent and he set about forming a team. So this Alfred Frankland is a man. He's the one that set up this Dick Kerr ladies team. Can you see the way? I saw some, let me show you what I saw here. I saw when I saw this name, Frankland's eye. She caught Frankland's eye and was offered a job. It clicked to my mind that Frankland is probably the coach of this Dick Kerr ladies team. If he's the coach, then who is the person that started the club? I had to go back and I saw that he's actually the one that started the club. Because there's a statement about a man starting a club. Look at the number 33. Can you see? It was established by a male office worker. I read it earlier when I was solving BLFC. I read it and the thing just came back to my mind as I was solving this second question. So number 33 can be matched to option B. The answer to number 33 is going to be what? It's going to be option B. Okay? Hope you get my analysis. Let me see if you understand my analysis so far. Let me see. Drop your message. Type it that yes, I understand. I am with you. Let me see who is following me. Let me see who is following me. Let me see whether you are following me. Let me see whether you are following me. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. So let me continue with this Dick Kerr. Let me see. Let me see whether there's any other thing for Dick Kerr. So, close to 6 feet tall and with a jet black hair, she had a ferocious appetite. Okay. She's credited with 43 goals. Okay. By 1921, Dick Kerr were regularly attracting crowds in thousands. But the year ended in a catastrophe for women's game. Okay, that's all for Dick Kerr. Okay, nothing again for Dick Kerr. Is there any other thing? Number 32, it was threatened. No, Dick Kerr was not threatened. 35, it called for ending of the ban. No. 36, it was accused of being no. Let me move on. The Football Association now. Football Association. Look at Football Association here. The Football Association, officially the governing body for sports as a whole, but really only concerned with men's competition, had always taken a poor view of female participation. Women's football was tolerated during the war, but in the years that followed, driven by the fear that women's game could affect football league attendance, the FA sought to assert itself. Its solution was decisive and brutal. On December 5, 1921, the FA banned its members from allowing women's football to be played on its grounds. Okay. The FA also suggested that an excessive proportion of gate receipts were absorbed in expenses and an inadequate percentage devoted to charity. Okay, no such obligation to donate profits existed for men's club and no proof of financial mismanagement was presented. But there was little the women's club could do in response. There was outrage from the players, with the captain of Plymouth Ladies remarking that the FA was 100 years behind the time. Hold on. There's Plymouth in that list. Okay, there's no Plymouth. FA was accused of being old-fashioned. Yes, that's it. The FA was accused of being old-fashioned. Look at it here. The Plymouth Ladies remarking that the FA was 100 years behind. That's old-fashioned. Paraphrase. So the FA was accused of being old-fashioned. Number 36 is going to be C. 36 is going to be what? C. 36 is going to be C. Then let me see. The one I've not solved now, I've not solved number 32 and number 35. 32 felt threatened by the rise of women's football. That's FA. FA felt threatened by the rise of women's football. Where is it? I saw it somewhere. The Football Association had always taken a poor view of female participation. Women football was tolerated during the war, but the years that followed, driven by the fear, can you see, felt threatened. The FA felt threatened. Yes, that's it. It felt threatened by the rise of women. Number 32 is going to be C. The FA felt threatened. Yes, Football Association felt threatened. Number 32 is going to be C. Number 35, it called for the ending of the ban on women football in Britain. Who called for the ending of the ban? Is it UEFA? It was not on the 1966 that serious efforts to revive the women's game began, but progress remained painfully slow. It took pressure from the Union of European Football Association to finally force the FA to end restrictions. Yes, that's it. The UEFA called for ending of the ban. Number 35 is going to be D. Number 35 is D. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've solved matching features questions. Let me move to the multiple choice questions now. Number 28. In the first paragraph, the writer says that in the 18th century Scotland, what happened in 18th century Scotland? So I'll go to the passage. Women's football in Britain has deeper roots than might be expected. In one town in 18th century Scotland, single women played an annual match against their married counterparts, though the motive behind the contest were not purely sporting. Some accounts say that the games were watched by a crowd of single men who hoped to pick out a potential bride based on her footballing ability. That's what some accounts say. Okay? In the first paragraph, the writer says that in 18th century Scotland, only unmarried women were allowed to play. No, that's not true. Women's football was more common. No, they didn't mention that. Women were sometimes forbidden to watch. No. Skill at football might be considered when choose. Yes, answer is option D. Number 28 is D. That number 28 is fully supported by the paragraph. Number 28 is D. Number 28 is D. Number 29. The writer says that Netije Honeyball was unwilling to. Netije Honeyball. Look at Netije Honeyball, who founded the British Ladies Football Club. Honeyball was an alias. And like many of the middle class and upper class women who played football in the 19th century, she was not keen. Now look at it. Not keen. That means unwilling. Unwilling to publicize her involvement with the contact sports played on muddy fields. Unwilling to publicize her involvement. So Netije Honeyball was unwilling to publicize her involvement. Unwilling to take active part. No. Unwilling to mix with people she considered lower. No. Unwilling to let the public know of her. Yes. Option C, that's our answer. Unwilling to let the public know of her involvement. Number 29 is going to be what? 29 is going to be C. Okay? Number 30. The writer suggests that in Britain, between 1895 and 1914, between 1895 and 1914, where is 1895? See 1895 here. 1895. Where is 1914? 1914. So my answer should be somewhere in this paragraph. My answer should be somewhere in this paragraph. So let me take it from here. So they established the club in 1895. And then this lady became the president in 1895. The BLFC arranged games between teams representing North and South of England, where money will be raised for Okay, where money will be raised for those in need. Okay, so they raise money during the football matches. This initially attracted healthy numbers of supporters, although early newspaper reports were not particularly generous. What's the meaning of particularly generous? In other words, newspaper reports did not give a positive report. Newspapers did not give a positive report of those female football matches. That's what they are saying. They did not give a positive report of those football matches. They did not give a positive. That's the meaning of not generous. With one reporter suggesting when the novelty has worn off, I do not think women's football will attract the crowds. And crowds did drop off as the great popularity of the men's game came to dominate public interest. In a country where women were not yet allowed to vote, it would take extraordinary circumstances for their effort on football pitch to attract widespread attention. Those circumstances arose in 1914 with the outbreak of the First World War. Okay, let me go back to the question. The writer suggests that in Britain between 1895 and 1914, society was not yet ready for women's football. There were false reports of the decline of women's football. The media felt that women's football should not be allowed. Women's football mainly attracted people because it was unusual. This option D cannot be the answer. Answer is between A, B, and C. Society was not yet ready for women's football. Let me go back. So let me see. BLFC arranged games. This initially attracted a healthy number of supporters. Okay, so there were many people that came to watch. But then it now says, and crowd did drop off. Okay, let me go and check. There's one option. There were false reports of the decline of women's football. The crowd dropped off. The thing is not a false report. Option B is out of it. There were false reports of the decline of women's football. False reports. False reports. Where is that? When the novelty has worn off, I do not think women's football will attract the crowds. No, option B cannot be the answer. I don't think option B is the answer. Option B is out of it. Society was not yet ready. I think A is I'm going to pick A. The society was not yet ready for women's football. From this thing here, the society was not yet ready. In a country where women were not allowed to vote, it will take extraordinary circumstances for their efforts. So the answer is going to be A. I'll go for A. Number 30 is going to be A. Number 30 is going to be A. Then the last question, number 31. After the First World War broke out in 1914, factory managers dash. So let's see, after the First World War. So the circumstances arose in 1914 with the outbreak of the First World War. With many men leaving their jobs to join the army, women started to work in factories. And just as men had done before them, they began to play informal games of football during their lunch breaks. Okay. After some initial uncertainty, their superiors came to see these games as a means to boost morale and thus increase productivity. Teams soon formed and friendly matches were arranged. After the First World War broke out, factory managers were initially unwilling to employ women. No. Factory managers played in matches. No. Factory managers allowed extra time. No. Factory managers said that women's football might. Yes. Answer is D, because it boosted morale. I saw that in the passage that they said it boosted morale. It boosted morale. Ladies and gentlemen, I've solved questions 1 to 40. I have solved all the questions from 1 to 40. So what we are going to do now, let us post our answer and then we check the answer at the back of the book to see whether there is anyone that is wrong, and then we'll do self-correction for anyone that is wrong. That's what we're going to do now. So these are my answers. These are my answers. Let me post the remaining. Okay, this is 1 to 20, and then 21 to 40. 21 to 40. Okay, so let's check the answer at the back of the book. Let's check the answer at the back of the book. Number 1, D, B, A, C. Okay, I hope it's bigger. D, B, A, C, F, C, E, G. False, not given, not given, false, true, false. Everything from 1 to 14, correct. Number 15, highlight, details, insights, samples, questionnaire, authentic, routine, dress code, personalities, conversation starters, goals, open mind, improvements. Correct, everything correct. D, C, A, D, C, B, A, D, C, A. Grounds, referees, prejudice. All our answers are correct. Ladies and gentlemen, all our answers are correct. Can you see? Full reading test solved. You see the way I've used keywords. I used keywords to track my answer. I focused on the part of the passage containing my keywords. I studied it closely, analyzed, and I picked my answer. And that's how we deal with what? That's how we deal with what? Questions in IELTS reading. Again, you need to practice doing things like these until you get used to these strategies. Okay? Practice is the key to improvement. Practice is the key to what? To improvement. Okay? So I'm going to pause here for today. I'm going to drop a full reading test for you to solve. Okay? I want you to download it and solve it. And when you finish, send me your answers. Once I see your answers, I'm going to send you the correct answers for you to mark yourselves. Okay? If you have any question, feel free to drop your question in the WhatsApp chat box. I'm going to respond to the question as soon as I can. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.